This is Bishop Dr. Truman Burst. Master Herbalist, coming to you from Good Shepherd Ministries. My name is Bishop Dr. Truman Burst. I am a graduate ethnobotanist and phytotherapist. I'm a graduate master herbalist, chartered herbalist, master of herbology. I'm an ordained minister and a certified bishop, and I love the Lord. Jesus Christ is my Savior. And we're not prescribing. We're not diagnosing here. We're talking about natural remedies, just as they are mentioned also in the Bible. And so just letting you know, we're not prescribing or diagnosing. What we're doing is talking about research and encouraging people to have a better understanding of natural remedies. And that's what we're doing here. And we're also privileged to have Sister Kashakia here, who comes and visits with us each week, and always has a presentation based around the AGEs, and she'll tell you more about what AGEs are, and about Tahitian noni, because it's one of the things that I use all the time. Every day, I'm getting some Tahitian noni, and you should too. And you'll find out more about that when Sister Kashakia is ready to talk. Give us her presentation today. And in the meantime, again, if there is any question or any comment, press your mic, press your star key 2 times, and then you'll unmute your mic, and then you can ask questions and make comments. So in the meantime, I'm going to go over here and find Sister Kashakia. There she is. Sister Kashakia, how are you doing today?
I'm good, Dr. Truman. I'm good. I'm not quite together. If you can give me about 20 minutes, if someone else has some questions or you have a topic, if no one has questions, I'm still getting some information. I just got through with a consultation, so now I'm trying to gather things together for this presentation now.
I understand.
So in about 20 more minutes, I'll be ready to rock and roll.
Okay, about 20 minutes. That's wonderful. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and mute that mic so that we don't have any echoes. And now we're going to go ahead and proceed. So far, no one has suggested a topic or have a particular question about a natural remedy. So that's up to me now to go pick a topic. And let's go over here to the herbalhealthreview.com website, herbalhealthreview.com website, and I'm going to click on common conditions, because that's where all the reports are of of much of my work, and it is a labor of love in progress, because every day I'm working on these reports and updating them and adding new ones and so forth. So it just goes on and on. One of the things that we have not gotten into is adrenal fatigue. A lot of people are they're tired. And they don't know why they're tired. So we're going to pull up the adrenal fatigue report, and let's talk about that. And then if anyone has a question or thinks of something, then please press the star key 2 times and join the broadcast, and let us know what your thoughts are or your questions are. But in the meantime, adrenal fatigue. So what do we know about natural remedies and adrenal fatigue? Well, the term. Let's go ahead now and take this report, and let's pull it over and drop it into the video box, the screen capture. There we are. Now, when you're up on the website herbalhealthreview.com, where all these reports are, you'll be able to click on the tab that says Discoveries in Health. And when you do, you'll see a video. This video will be there, and you'll be able to see what it is that what I'm looking at. So we're both looking at the same thing at the same time, and you'll be able to look at these reports as we're sharing this information. And again, adrenal fatigue. It's a term that's used by some to say that fatigue and other symptoms are caused by a poorly working adrenal gland. In people who are under mental, emotional, or physical stress. Your adrenal glands make hormones, and one of these is cortisol, which helps your body deal with stress. According to the adrenal fatigue theory, if your life is too stressful, your adrenal glands may not pump out enough hormones, leading to a wide variety of symptoms. And so what we're talking about then is that it is the trouble, like trouble getting out of bed and chronic tiredness. Even after you wake up in the morning and you still feel like, oh, wow, man, I wish I could have another hour or two or even 3 more hours of sleep. And that's chronic tiredness and trouble thinking clearly or finishing your tasks. You just get worn out too fast. That's weak or problems with adrenal fatigue. Now, first, make sure that your diet is clean. That means, cut out the processed, GMO, a high sugar, or highly refined foods. We're going to cut out those. And then you might visit over on the herbalhealthreview.com under common conditions and look at make lifestyle changes, because that's going to give you a lot of lifestyle suggestions and ideas about how to improve your diet, your energy, and feel better. So make lifestyle changes in those common conditions reports. That is a real packed with information to get you started in the right direction. Now, so we're going to make sure that our diet is, we're cutting out the processed and the GMO and the high sugar and the refined sugar and the white sugar, gone out of the diet. Does that mean that you don't get to have anything sweet? No. Matter of fact, in that Make Lifestyle Changes report, you'll see that there is a absolutely delicious power drink that's made with chocolate, vanilla, and cinnamon, and lots of organic raisins in there that makes it very sweet. And then you can add some blueberries, frozen or organic, frozen, fresh, however you can get them. And these all go in a blender, or you can make a cereal out of it and put them in a bowl and make a cereal. But anyway, the recipe is there under Make Lifestyle Changes, and it's absolutely delicious. So don't worry about the fact that you have to give up something. Actually, you're going to discover that this can be really delicious, nutritious, and give you a ton of energy. So then stay away from stimulants like caffeine. If you're having 1 or 2 cups of coffee and it agrees with you and it doesn't give you the jitters, that's fine. That agrees with you and that's reasonable. But to have 1 or 2 pots of coffee, anytime you get 3, 4, 5 cups of coffee, you're overdoing it. So we got to get things in moderation here. So we're going to have caffeine if you want caffeine, but we're going to have a modest amount of it. And smoking, you're going to cut that out entirely. And if you have any problem getting rid of these type of cravings, well, then there is a formula of herbs, and it's called Stop Craving, and it stops the craving for alcohol, for smoking, and for other drugs and so forth. And let me see if I can find that craving stop. Yeah, that's number 1123. So if you go over to the betterhealthherbs.com website and you just go into their search engine there and you type in 1123, it's going to bring up some stop craving herbal drops that will help you to stop all types of cravings. So that's one thing. If you need that help, it's there. Now, the other thing is, we're going to also try, get the alcohol out of the diet as well. No smoking, no alcohol, and limited caffeine. And we're going to get all of our energy. You're going to have more energy than you've ever had in your life when you make these changes, because too much caffeine, smoking, and alcohol, well, they can really mess up your hormones. And you want to try to eat lots of organic, dark, leafy greens. I like purple kale. It's one of my favorites. And fresh fruits. And let's go organic, and let's stay away from the GMO. And let's get fresh fruits and organic vegetables, and let's get some raw nuts and seeds. I didn't say salted, I didn't say cooked, heated. We got to go raw with the nuts and the seeds, and you can make your own. People are going out and they're getting this almond milk, and they're getting sunflower milk, sunflower seed milk, and so forth. And they're don't do that. Instead, just get a handful of your favorite nuts and seeds, and you put them in the blender with probably about 1 or 2 cups of water, pure water that has the minerals in it. And you whir that up in the blender. Now you've saved a lot of money, and you've got a better quality nut milk or seed milk, and you've made it yourself with just water and nuts. That's right. Now, if you want it sweet, put some of those raisins in there. You want it to taste like cinnamon, a little bit of cinnamon. You want some vanilla in there? Oh, put some vanilla in there. And if you like chocolate, get the 100% pure baker's chocolate that is available in any grocery store. You go to the baking aisle, and there it is. Since the 1700s, is this baker's chocolate that's bitter. Nobody wants to buy it because it doesn't have any sugar in it, and that's exactly what you want, because you're going to sweeten it with delicious tasting fruit. Blueberries and cranberries and cherries and so forth. So this is going to taste great. And let's leave the almonds out. And the reason why I leave the almonds out is because they spray almonds with a pesticide that is banned in most countries. And so I'm not going to eat their almonds that they spray. They don't have to, but they're doing it anyway. And it's just another thing that our government is doing that I don't agree with. And so I don't eat those almonds unless I could get an almond that is raw and organic and even sprouted, is wonderful. So then I'll eat those almonds, uh, and I have some in the freezer right now. Um, Now, the other thing that we want to get besides raw nuts and seeds is essential fatty acids like hemp, and you can get hemp seeds, and it comes in a bag, and you'll see it in the stores these days. It's a fairly new product on the market, but hemp seeds, and flaxseed oil and flax seeds and sprouts and garlic and onions and shiitake mushrooms. These are the superfoods. And pecans and asparagus and spinach and turnip greens and bananas. These are essential for the adrenal glands, to feed the adrenal. These are adrenal foods, as they are great vegan sources of vitamin B and potassium. Now, let's talk about herbs for adrenal fatigue. Herbs are a powerful tool that yield healing and release toxins from your body. Now, there is an adrenal hypoglycemia herbal formula, and that's formula number 1009. And that's going to give you adrenal support. And it's going to, and those that have hyperglycemia, well, that's gonna help them get over that. So there's the support for the adrenal glands. The herbs that are in the 1009 adrenal hypoglycemia herbal formula, well, those herbs are licorice root and juniper berry and wild yam and dandelion and ginger. Great herbs to energize the body and feed the adrenal glands. That's licorice root, juniper berries, wild yam, dandelion, and ginger. That's what's in the 1009 adrenals and hypoglycemia support herbal tincture. And again, if you're looking at this report on herbalhealthreview.com under common conditions, and you're looking at the adrenal report, adrenal fatigue, you can actually click on that link, and it will take you over to betterhealthherbs.com, to where you can actually see the product and the various sizes and so forth, and purchase it if you want to. Now, and their telephone number, by the way, I gave you the website for the products. All the products that were mentioned, that are mentioned here, you can get them from betterhealthherbs.com, and their telephone number is 541-791-8400. 541-791-8400. And they do also provide free health consultations. So you can call them up. You'll have a friend for life. They'll be there for you to help you with the family, with yourself, and so forth. And this is what we've done for many, many years. And this is the third generation of my family that is there doing that. That's my granddaughter, Brittany, who has blessed me with 5 great grandchildren, 5 little girls from age 4 to age 12. And I just love their socks off. They're what a bunch of characters they are. They come and visit Grandpa all the time. But anyway, that's who you'll be talking to. It's a not-for-profit. It's all part of the ministry here of manufacturing natural products and providing information, truthful information and free education. So That's an adrenals and hypoglycemia support herbal tincture extract. And you would take 15 to 30 drops and you would put them right underneath your tongue. And you would do it 2 to 3 times a day so that you would, morning, noon, and evening. And for extra energy and to get those adrenals going again. Now, there is if all of the glands are weak, if the adrenals are weak, and the thyroid, the pituitary, and the pineal gland, and what I find is we need to work on all the glands at the same time. If you got a low thyroid, you can't just work on the thyroid. You got to work on all the glands at the same time. Then that low thyroid or high thyroid, hyperthyroidism, those things will adjust themselves when you work on all the glands at the same time. So that's when we came up with a formula called Gland Rejuvenator. And Gland Rejuvenator, that is a formula that has, about 26 or 28 different herbs in it. It was a formula that had more herbs in it than any other formula that I ever made, until I made the joint care formula to get rid of my arthritis and aches and pains and so forth, which it worked wonderful. It only took me 7 years to figure out how to make that formula and make it work perfectly. So the idea is, when you get these things right, after a while, you don't need them anymore. This is temporary. This isn't you don't have to take these the rest of your life. What we do is we help the body to go back to work again. And I'm here to comfort you. I don't do any healing. The Lord does the healing, and I'm just here pointing the way to how to get comforted, and the reports and the information, and then it's up to you to make the decision of what you want to do. But that Gland Rejuvenator, it's got a digestion stimulant formula in there. It's got a gallbladder formula. It has the adrenals hypoglycemia formula in the Gland Rejuvenator formula. And it has a lymphatic glands formula in there, and a brain balance formula. Because when the glands are off, you get foggy and you can't think, and it's tough. So there's a brain balance herbal formula within the Gland Rejuvenator. Also a spleen and pancreas formula, a thyroid and pituitary formula, and a heart formula, all combined together, and it works beautifully. So that's a Gland Rejuvenator formula, number 1196, and that's listed in this report that I'm looking at, and that you will be looking at as well when you go up on the herbalhealthreview.com website and click on Discoveries in Health, and there's all these videos, all these reports, and you can view them at your leisure. Okay, now the next herb, and this is an energizer. It's called Schizandra berry. And by the way, I'm going to back up a little bit. The Gland Rejuvenator, 1 teaspoon, a whole teaspoon of it, 3 times a day. It's a complete lymphatic detox and gland rejuvenation. And you take it until you don't need it anymore. And it might take as much as about 6 weeks before it really, that you've accomplished your goal with the Gland Rejuvenator. So between 3 and 6 weeks is when you see big results with getting the glands going. They're stubborn. They take their time. Whereas many times with many other things like Schizandra berry, 15 to 30 drops or more a couple of times a day, well, that's an herb that helps balance your whole body. Schizandra berries, they're not just it's not just a particular problem. Schizandra works on the whole body. Schizandra can help your body deal with stress. Now that's where that takes the load off the adrenals. And along with helping to reduce stress, it also fights anxiety and insomnia, and increases your energy. It's anti-aging. It helps people that have liver disease use Schizandra berry. And Schizandra berry will boost your immune system. It's such a small thing, Schizandra berry, that little berry, but it does a big job. It's the kind of herb that I take when I feel kind of blah, and I've just been at it too, been at working at it too many, seen too many reports, spent too many hours here sitting here working on these reports, and I kind of get the blah. Well, take some Schizandra berry, and it gets you going again. I love this stuff. So Schizandra berry, energize your whole body, and then there's the ginseng power 6. Ginseng Power 6 is a combination of all of the ginsengs and pseudo ginsengs all brought together again to where I could create a synergistic effect and get the best out of the Chinese ginseng, the American ginseng, the Brazilian ginseng, all the different ginseng, brought them all together. And you're going to use about 6 to 24 drops 3 times a day of Ginseng Power 6. Well, let's see if I can see. That's number 1195. Number 1195 over in the search engine. But if you click on it, it will take you over there. You can click on any of these links. These are all live links in this report. Makes it really easy. Now, Ginseng Power 6. 6 to 24 drops 3 times a day. It's been a long prized in Chinese culture, ginseng as a cure for everything that ails you, from fevers to inflammatory illness. And ginseng, Chinese ginseng, has also been treasured for its ability to strengthen and balance your vitality. Ginseng promotes mental and physical vigor and stimulates the central nervous system, and it helps rejuvenate your adrenal glands. Take about so when you take ginseng, you take it for about 3 weeks, then you cycle off for a couple of weeks before starting again. And since you'll be getting your energy naturally from the ginseng, you may want to cut down on coffee and other stimulants, other sources of caffeine, because you're not going to need it, and you don't want to take it after 3 p.m. because it may interrupt your sleep. You might still be wanting to do things and so forth when you should be getting your rest. And it's very important that you do get your rest. And there's things we can help with that as well. But that's a whole other story. Rhodiola, 15 to 30 drops or more 2 times daily. That's an amazing root. Rhodiola is an amazing root that has been used for centuries to enhance both energy and longevity. It's similar to the healing powers of ginseng. Rhodiola is a perfect helper for adrenal fatigue, as it helps promote energy on a cellular level, ATP, and it harmonizes stress hormone production to help create a peaceful mind and a peaceful body and spirit. The effects of rhodiola are compounded when combined with ashwagandha root. Ashwagandha root, which you're going to take about 12 drops 3 times a day, well, or more, 15 to 30 drops a couple of times a day is all right. Ashwagandha, this comes from a shrub that is commonly used in Ayurvedic healing. Ashwagandha root, it's another adaptogen that helps balance your body and restore your adrenal glands. And it's used to build up your strength and vitality. Ashwagandha, a root, is also called winter cherry, and it's also useful for anxiety, forgetfulness, normalizing blood sugar levels, and of course, depression. And ashwagandha is great because it will not cause drowsiness, not going to make you sleepy. Yet it mellows you out. And try starting out with about 6 to 12 drops per day. The dose can be gradually increased up to about 24 to 30 drops per day if needed. Okay, that's and you can get it as a powder. All of these products that we're talking about, you can get them as a liquid, as a powder, as an herbal tea. You can even get them in capsules. All you have to do is call up the folks at betterhealthherbs.com and just tell them, I want some ashwagandha, but I want capsules. And they'll say, okay, and because they do that too. And that's 541-791-8400. And by the way, I do not get any money or anything from the sale of any of these products. I don't do that. I invented the formulations that we're talking about here. I invented them. Those and 13,999 other ones as well. But I do not get anything from them. The government chased me around so much that that I finally had to not, just not even take anything from it because then because they tried to force me to sign an admission of guilt that drugs are herbs if they're any good for you. If they help you to do something, well, then the herbs are drugs. Herbs are drugs if they help you. If they don't help you, they're just food. But if they help you, if they're any good for you, they're drugs. That's what the FDA says. They're nuts. So anyway, so much for ashwagandha. Then there's the 4 mushroom tincture. Now we're getting into those mushrooms. You were talking about the maitake, shiitake, reishi, and chaga. Those are some powerful mushrooms. Mushrooms are a good source of B vitamins, including riboflavin, niacin, and pantothenic acid, which help to provide energy by breaking down proteins and fats and carbohydrates. B vitamins also play an important role in the nervous system. Mushrooms have long been celebrated as a source of powerful nutrients. Mushrooms are also a source of important minerals. These herbs will help combat fatigue and get those adrenal glands feeling better in no time flat. Please also keep in mind that because herbs treat the problem versus covering up the symptom, it often takes anywhere from 2 to 6 months for the real fruit of the results to show itself. 2 to 6 months. Although sometimes people it's instant. It can be in minutes. It doesn't have to take 2 to 6 months, but it can take up to 2 to 6 months. But by then, you're going to either know this is a wonderful addition, the 4 mushroom tincture, mushroom 4 times tincture. And so, you need to take these things diligently. You don't just take them for a few days and say, oh, it didn't help, because it might take more than a few days. Now, that is it. That is pretty basically it. This report also mentions the Make Lifestyles Changes report. There's a link to that in this report. There's also a link to a menopause report in this report. There's another link to the PTSD, anxiety and depression, and there's also a link to cancer and HPV, genital human papillomavirus. And also there is a link to betterhealthherbs.com and also a disclaimer because we are not prescribing or diagnosing. That's it. That is a little bit about adrenal fatigue. Not that you would have to take all of these things, but you start with one thing and you start adding another and another and another until you break the cycle. The thing what I've done here is been able to give you a lot of what am I saying? A lot of ammunition to solve the problem. So it may take 2 or 3 things, but you've got a number of things there, and whatever it takes to get rid of adrenal fatigue, there it is. There's the information. Now, that being said, I'm going to go over and check with Sister Kashakia and see what if she's just about ready for us here today. Sister Kashakia, are you there? I'm unmuting your mic.
Yes,